Let's see. And good afternoon, everyone, on this Friday. This is the Mechanics Chess Social from the Mechanics Institute. I'm Abel Talamantes, chess director of the Mechanics Institute. I have with me Dr. Judith Stare and our very special guest for this first one of December, International Master Keaton Kiewra. How's it going?
It's going awesome. Thanks so much for having me. It's a real pleasure to be here with you guys today.
Awesome. The last time we saw you live and in person was at last year's U.S. Amateur Team West. You came out here from San Diego. Is that where you're at?
That was actually the last tournament I've played.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, correct. I came up from San Diego. Yeah, I had the team with Kyron
That's
and
right. Kyron
Gabriel
Griffith.
Sam and the young guy we got from you guys who performed very well. And yeah, that was a blast. That was a really fun tournament.
Yeah, you guys were a very, very competitive team. You guys were one of the contenders. There were a lot of good, solid teams though, all across the board.
Yeah, exactly. There were a lot of good teams, and not that many rounds. So it's like if losing one
Right.
match kind of takes us out. And so yeah, we thought we had a good strategy going up against Enrico Sebbiano's team, but their board three came up with a huge upset, about I think like a 600 or 700 point upset that kind of broke us that round. So.
Usually you don't associate chess with luck, but a team event like that where it's all dependent on four different players, there's probably a little luck involved in.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And underrated players too. So something we
Sure.
see all the time.
So, thank you for coming on, and why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you started with chess, and how you got to where you are
Yeah,
now?
absolutely. I'd be happy to. So I grew up in Nebraska and I started playing chess around 7. My dad got me into it. And, as I got more into chess, I started working with some coaches. Had a great coach named Tom O'Connor, Dr. Tom O'Connor, who was a professor. And he worked with me all throughout my childhood, actually mentored me in the schools in chess, and really helped me to get my level probably up to about class A. And then I started working with Grandmaster Miran Shir over the phone, which is kind of
Wow.
funny because something that young players today probably can't even imagine. We actually had a physical chessboard set up. We're working over the phone. He had
Wow.
just moved to the U.S. from Russia. At that point, you barely spoke English, but as long as we talked about chess, we could understand each other well. So,
Sure. Wow.
yeah, Miran was an incredible coach who passed away not too long ago, but really helped me to elevate to the master level, I would say, the strong master level.
And at what point did you hit master?
I hit master at age 16. Growing up, I was frequently a scholastic national champion. I won 6 of those, and I was frequently a Nebraska state champion, like overall state champion, which isn't saying too much for Nebraska. But then I ended up going to college at UT Dallas on a chess
Yeah.
scholarship. At the time,
Was
it
that
was really before
Were you one of the
collegiate
first
chess.
ones to?
I wasn't one of the first. Like I'd say the first was like Yuri Shulman
Okay.
and some of those guys, but it was before collegiate chess really boomed. So at that time, really, UTD and UMBC were the big guns in town.
Yeah.
It was before there were all these St. Louis schools and just really all these schools throughout the U.S. So.
And
Um,
how was that experience going through a chess program where it was kind of a new thing at the time,
It
relatively new?
was, and it was outstanding. Made a lot of really incredible and lasting friendships. It was a very unique group. that we had at UTD during that time. A lot of diversity, a lot of players from Europe, players from South America, players from all over the U.S. And we just really bonded. And it was, I tell people often, our group was really one of a kind. A lot of very outgoing people, which you don't always see in chess.
Yeah.
So we definitely had a lot of great times there at UTD, and something I look back on very fondly.
Yeah, it seems like the American chess players are, for the most part, a little more introverted, and then the European players are a lot more outgoing.
Seems to be, yeah.
So,
And
yeah, go ahead.
when did you get your IM title?
So I became an IM a little bit after college. I think I was maybe 25 years old when I made IM. So that was maybe around 2012. Yeah, around 2012, I
You
think.
have to travel a lot for those norm tournaments.
Yeah, I did travel a lot. We had a stipend at UTD. We had training money, so we often used that to travel to like the Czech Republic and Spain and Greece and play tournaments together and just have a great time. Um, so yeah, definitely did a lot of traveling. Where I actually made IM was in Spain. I had the norms already, but that was where I got my rating over 2,400 FIDE. Actually, though, I got my second GM norm in the Bay Area. I'm trying to remember if it was at the Mechanics Chess Club. I don't think it was, but it was the 2011 Berkeley International that Arun Sharma ran.
Hmm.
It was definitely in an old-fashioned chess building
Yeah.
somewhere close to Berkeley. So I guess that wasn't Mechanics, right?
No, that wasn't. I think Arun
Across the
ran a
bridge.
total of three norm tournaments, two before me, and we ran one, the international one together. So I think it was probably the first one he ran in 2011 or
Okay, yeah, that sounds right then.
like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I know he has experience in running norm tournaments, so it was really nice.
Yeah, it was a great tournament, and obviously one that I look back on with good memories.
But that's actually very interesting that so to point out that future high school students, if you guys are watching, when you consider selecting your college, having these chess scholarships, it's not only giving you the ability to be a part of a team as well as a great coaches throughout the semester, but also stipends, and you can actually travel to tournaments, which is an amazing opportunity, I know.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, they might get training money to travel to tournaments, or they might they travel as a team to tournaments,
Yeah.
and play professionally. So
And you have two GM norms, you said. So you're one away, and
I
then
do, although I've had them for a while. That was actually the most recent one I made was back in 2011. I have had two performances since then that were GM norm performances, but they didn't count for kind of arbitrary reasons. Like in one, I had an opponent not show up and I won a game on
Oh.
forfeit. And then another one, I
oh, that's
played
tough.
like
Yeah.
6 people from the same federation instead of 5 people from the same federation.
All those little requirements.
Yeah.
And for the viewers, I mean, it can be a very heartbreaking. I know Jason Liang, he had an amazing performance in the Spice Cup recently, and the only reason he didn't make his final IM norm is because there wasn't enough different federation.
Yeah.
It's like heartbreaking for me.
That's tough. Yeah, that's real unfortunate. But
Pairings at the same time, and you can't add another round, but it's very very tough when it's really not because of you, but because
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, chess is tough like that, and I think for that reason, it's good for us. It teaches resilience.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's definitely a lesson that I'm thankful for, and it teaches also to kind of take responsibility yourself and what you can control, and just to not waste energy worrying about what's outside your control, because when we play chess, there's just so much that is outside of our control. So
I
that's
mean,
been a really important lesson for me on my journey with chess.
it really forces a player to really perform well regardless of the circumstances around you. Because the other thing is you
Exactly.
can have all the players with the right number of different federations, but if the ratings are low, then you have to really score high, and it
Yeah,
makes that a challenge too. So
that's right. Yeah, you just have to do your best and hope it's enough. But I have no doubt that Jason will make IM and probably much more than that. I've played him before, and he's a very
very strong.
incredibly talented young player.
Yeah. So you made international master, and then I take it you finished school. And what
Yeah,
happened?
I agree. Mhm.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say. So what happened? Because I know that you're a professional coach. So did something
Yeah.
go where you sort of diverted a lot of your energy and attention into your coaching versus pursuing?
Well, I've actually been a professional coach since I graduated college in 2009. So my route was actually a little different than most people who play professionally and then retire and go into coaching. I actually improved a lot since I started coaching. I think since I started coaching professionally, I was only a FIDE master. Um, so actually during the time I've been coaching, I've actually had improved my own game and was competing at the same time, which is an interesting thing to consider because a lot of professional chess players coach to make money, and a lot of them complain that like it's hard to focus on playing while you're coaching. And while I agree with that, I think it definitely is. It's still probably more conducive than like working a more regular job would be.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and actually,
Because it's still, it's more conducive than if you're working in an office somewhere.
sure, which I know that feeling, and it's not a good feeling. And actually, FIDE Master Paul Whitehead, who works with us at Mechanics, he said the same since he's been coaching, teaching classes and creating classes online.
Yeah.
That his own chess, it's been improving, and he's been learning a lot as he's been coaching or learning.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it keeps you in the game. And especially when you have strong students, it keeps you sharp. So I think if you do it the right way, I don't see any reason why it has to be a detriment to professional play. And I think it can even be a boon. I think it can really help.
So, what does a typical week look like for you? What is Monday through Friday? You've got a slew of students, and you got to schedule and arrange it all the way.
We might make some of our viewers pretty jealous.
Probably.
I mean, I make my own schedule. I live 2 blocks from the bay, so I go out, I get time outside in nature, spend time, at the bay, at the beach, here in San Diego. I love living here. It's my favorite place in the world. So I'm extremely blessed, fortunate, grateful to be in the position I'm in life. It's really amazing
So
to be able to live here. And
so you're able to schedule, your time off, and not on
exactly
this day,
right.
so I can watch Monday Night Football or something like
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I make my own schedule, and I'm my own boss, so it's really great. So yeah, I spend a lot of time meditating. I spend some time working on chess, spend a good bit of time teaching chess, group classes, private classes. So I'm definitely very, very pleased with my lot in life, that's for sure.
Do you have a type of class that you really enjoy? People who coach enjoy coaching, but do you have like a type of student that you really really enjoy working with, like whether it be either scholastic versus adults, or whether it be players that are under 1,000 or 1,500 or 1,800?
Yeah, great question. I mean, I really enjoy working with, a motivated student of any level. So, like, even if they're a beginner, if they're really motivated and they're, asking the right questions to improve, if they're engaged in the lessons, I love working with them too. So I'd say it really has more to do with the student's attitude than with their level. But that being said, I would say probably um, some of my favorite students to work with are, kids who are a little bit older, a little more mature, and a little bit stronger in chess. Because then the lessons are just really engaging. So, like, I have a lot of students who are in high school, they're committed to the lessons, their parents are committed to the lessons. And I think those make for really challenging and good students. I mean, a lot of students who are beginners, just aren't that into chess. A lot of times it's more because of their parents. And those students can still be fine to work with, but often the lessons aren't quite as engaging. It's just kind of more me talking, and then I'm not really always sure if they're paying attention or not. And then also you bring up an interesting point with adult students. I know a lot of my colleagues have had a wide range of experience. I would say my experience has been I've definitely had a few adult students who are really rewarding to work with, and have had really great professional relationships with. But I've also had a lot who just burn out really fast.
Mm.
I've had a lot who will, ask me about lessons, and they'll just be really into chess. And then a couple weeks later, they'll just kind of drop off and not be interested anymore. So I think sometimes, underestimating just the amount of commitment it takes to improve in chess and how hard it is. So I think there's definitely, as a coach, there's definitely something to be said for having students who are a little bit younger and having the support of the family. Also, it's because it's not just their commitment, it's a family commitment. And those are the kinds of students who really, to me, seem to last and kind of be in it for the long haul.
And it's actually interesting that you say that, because I was going to ask this other question about whether at the very beginning, when you engage in that relationship with a student, do you approach them as that, okay, if I take you on and we work together, this is not just a 1.5 hour a week type of thing. It's like we're engaging in a relationship where I have expectations, and you should have expectations of me. Like, do you have that conversation with students at the beginning? And what's that
Yeah,
been
I
like?
would say to a certain extent. I mean, I always try to connect with each student individually and kind of see, what their path looks like with chess, what their interest is, and how I can help them best that I can. So I've definitely had some students who I can kind of sense they don't really have a lot of ambition, but they enjoy chess and they enjoy the lessons. And so I'm still happy to work with them and help them to have the best experience they can with chess and to help them as well as I can. I mean, that still works for me. Not all of my students are really trying to become world champion. And then I have other students who are, really ambitious and really want to, get somewhere and achieve some goals.
And we have a great question in the chat from Mike Saylor. He's saying, he's asking.
And I remember Mike Saylor. I played him a long time ago. I
Oh, is
think
that right?
Governor's Cup in South Dakota.
He's got to be smiling right now listening to that. He's asking whether you think it would be financially, it would be a financially good decision for you to get your final GM norm and get your GM title in terms of your coaching. Do you think it would add value in terms of your coaching?
Great question. And yeah, the answer is absolutely yes. And that could even be a little bit of a springboard, because I know you wanted to talk about the possibility of making GM. And what I would really say is that's probably my main incentive for making GM, because I think it is lucrative financially and it's good for business. I think both as a player and as a coach, because, as a
good.
player, yeah, it feels great. Yeah, I mean, as a player, you get conditions, you can get appearance fees to go to tournaments rather than having to pay an entry fee. And for coaching, it's good too. You can, charge more. You can, yeah, I mean, it's good for business all the way around. So yeah, the answer is definitely yes. My whole life, though, I was really set on making GM. And I think at some point, especially, when I had these norms that kind of fell through, I think I kind of had a realization that I wanted to make GM for the wrong reasons for myself. So I'm definitely not opposed to making GM. If I end up making GM, I'd definitely be happy with that. But I don't feel like it's something that has to happen either, because I think my view on that has kind of shifted, and I've kind of started to see it as this arbitrary line in the sand that someone drew, and everyone is just clamoring trying to get to this line. And I'm kind of like, well, but it's different for everyone. You have GMs of all different levels. Within GMs, you can have a difference in level of like 400 points. If you talk about like Magnus Carlsen versus like a more low rated GM. So it's like, what exactly is so special, about this level or this title? So for me, my main priority is to really enjoy chess and to use chess to unlock my creativity and my passion. And so to do that and to help other people, my students and my colleagues and the people that I'm really close to in the chess community, to share that with them and to enjoy the ride with them. And, if I do that, then I'm really happy with what chess has given me, regardless of whether I make GM.
I have to ask you this one question before we switch topics, because I know we want to get into online chess and what have you. There's a lot of players at the Mechanics Institute that are, older player, experienced, seasoned players that might be,
Sure.
B-level players or A-level players. As a professional coach, how difficult would you say it is for, like, say, a 1700, 1800 who's in their 40s or 50s to try to make national master, USCF national masters? Is that something that's an attainable goal, or is that an actual real difficult jump? Or
It's attainable, but it's tough. It's definitely tougher, I think, when you're older, because just patterns become more ingrained. And so basically improving in chess is always a struggle against yourself, because like we all have certain things that are holding us back and keeping us at the level we are. So in order to improve our level, we have to transcend those things. And so we have to figure out what's holding us back, figure out how we can improve that. And it's doable, but it's not easy. And it can really be hard.
And the barrier is not even time, right? It's not spending the time, it's breaking out of old
breaking
habits.
The patterns.
Yeah.
And
absolutely,
our brain doesn't work as sharp as
that's for sure.
Well, it's hard, and older people usually have lives too. They have families and jobs and responsibilities, and it's not always that easy to
it's
make a big.
It's a lot easier for the mind to just stay in the pattern.
But it's definitely possible. So don't give up hope. But yeah, definitely takes a good deal of commitment.
So let's dive into the last topic we would like to touch on is online tournaments. Are you playing in any online tournaments?
I really haven't been. Every now and then I'll play Title Tuesday on chess.com and just kind of throw the pieces around. But yeah, I haven't really played any online tournaments.
And do you have any reason why you don't like online tournaments, or just too busy? And
well, there's definitely one reason that I think all three of us are aware of.
And we'll get into, I'm sure.
Let's put it this way. If you can suggest one thing to an organizer to really pay attention to an online tournament to prevent cheating, what's your thing that you're looking for at a tournament?
Hold players accountable. I think players should have to have their name on their account. Like it should have to be public who they are. And I think it would be a great idea if, in order to play a tournament, someone had to sign some kind of consent platform, because I think a lot of the things organizers are worried about when it comes to cheating, it's like, well, if I, find this person guilty of cheating and penalize them, I might get sued. So, I mean, I think that, honestly, I think that in order to play in this day and age, whether it's an online tournament or a live tournament, I really think that players should have to consent to, in order to kind of give the organizers more power and more leeway in order to determine cheating and to punish cheating, because cheating is just so rampant. It's rampant live, but it's even much more rampant online with the anonymity and the convenience. Um, so that if someone does get found guilty of cheating, that there can be some kind of penalty, some repercussions, in order to discourage players from doing that.
And one of the challenges from the organizer perspective is that when you look at the top with the U.S. Chess Federation, I mean, they take, admittedly, I'm sure they would admit, conservative approach to it, where they choose not to name just because they can't legally say that for certainty something happened, but then it makes it difficult for organizers to do it, because if at the top they're not doing it, what support do we have?
It's a trickle down effect. Yeah, that creates a really tough situation, because it's like, if you can't hold players accountable, then it's much harder to discourage them from cheating, and it's just a big problem where cheating is so easy to do. And if players don't have integrity holding them back from doing it, then what's the next thing that holds them back is, fear of something going wrong. What if I get caught? I lose my reputation, I get penalized. So if they don't have integrity, and they don't have, if they don't see another reason not to do it, then it's kind of like, there you go. So there has. Mm-hmm.
I was just going to ask, do you have a particular interest in that field? Because I know, regarding previous incidents, I know you've been part of discussions with us in discussing, that a player, has behaved suspiciously. Do you have like a math or data background? Because you seem to have a lot more expertise than the average Joe when it comes to this stuff.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, so here's my background that I think helps a lot when it comes to that. So first of all, psychology. I was a psych major in college, so my degree's in psychology. Just my immersion in chess, I think that's helped me understand the way people think, the way chess players think, the way engines work, typical behavior, all of that. Definitely some interest and experience in poker. I played, a good bit of poker. I used to play in college during the poker boom, when I was living in Texas. So yeah. I think that's definitely played a role in psychology and reading people. And then also spirituality, reading a lot of spiritual literature, my own journey with meditation and with energy work. So I think with those four elements combined, really have kind of given me a gift of being able to understand people, to relate to people, to understand them, understand, the way thought processes work and that kind of thing.
That's a fantastic combination of incorporating, the different disciplines into, getting a sense and a judgment about this particular area.
Yeah, it's been my dharma. It's been my path. I joke sometimes that if chess doesn't work out, I think I'd make an okay detective.
And this meditation, I love that I learned something new about you today, because how do you think meditation helps you more?
Oh, absolutely.
And that's something I've actually got into myself in the past year. It's very
good for you.
How meditation works and helps the mind and clear up some of the confusion inside your head, right?
Good. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, it's helped me tremendously in chess, and more importantly in life. It's something I've been into probably for about 10 years, but I've definitely gone more heavily into, I'd say, since March, since having a lot more time in solitude. Um, so yeah, absolutely. It's just enriched my life so much.
Meditation class together and help chess players learn to meditate and learn to improve their gains with meditation, having a clear mind.
That would be awesome. I think there are a lot of I think meditation really helps everyone, but I think a lot of chess players could really stand to benefit from meditation because I think chess players tend to have very active minds
Yeah.
and especially overactive left cortexes of their brain, which I know I had, and it just creates a lot of unnecessary, unproductive mental chatter that I think makes it harder to enjoy life and makes it harder to concentrate in general. So I know for sure that meditation is a wonderful thing for
Yeah,
chess players.
that could benefit organizers as well.
So I love that I learned something new about you. Thank you so much for coming on. April, do you have any other questions?
No, I was just. I guess the final question I want to ask is, the online chess boom was going strong since we've been in shelter in place because chess can be done online and virtually as well as classes and what have you. And then we had the Queen's Gambit. How
Yeah.
how do you see chess moving forward, especially once we get we're playing live chess again and being able to kind of do chess as we've done before? I mean, do you see online as sticking around all the same? Do you think people are going to be tired of online and want to do more live? And how do you see it?
That's a great question. I think you have different crowds. I think you have some people who really like online chess and who especially really like rapid chess. And then you have people who prefer to play in person and who prefer slower chess. So yeah, I think online chess is here to stay. I mean, there's Twitch is really popularizing it. A lot of these streamers are getting so many views. Give a shout out to my good friend Derek Wu, who's of course
Yeah.
part of your organization, who has has done an excellent job streaming chess. Often has thousands of viewers watching his streams. So.
And he streamed at the Mechanics Institute during the Donaldson Championship. Actually, he came in.
Oh
And,
wow!
yeah, one live last December. So,
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I know Josiah does that too. So yeah, I mean, I think chess culture. Well, and of course, your guy Daniel Naroditsky. So yeah, I think that
Charlotte's
part
guy
of chess.
now.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, that is true.
He's always our guy, though. He's always our guy.
Oh well, yeah. Once and always, right?
Yeah. Well,
We also chess dojo with
Kostya, David.
Pasha and David Bruce and
Yeah, I haven't followed them much, but I know that they got that together, and it sounds like they're doing really well. That's Kostya, David Pruitt, and Jesse Cry, right?
yep.
Right.
Yeah, it's a great Bay Area trio right there.
Well, Jesse moved to the East Coast, and Kostya, I think he's still in the Bay Area, but yeah, Jesse moved to the East Coast. But sure, they have
Yeah.
teams, so
Is he in Baltimore, Jesse?
somewhere there. Yes, I think somewhere in that area.
Well, Keaton, thank you so much for joining us. It was a fantastic interview. We'll put the link and a little blurb about it in the newsletter that'll come out
Okay.
Saturday. I'll send you the link for that. And
Perfect.
yeah, it's fantastic. We'll put it on YouTube for everyone to enjoy. And thanks for sharing your time.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It's really been a pleasure.
Wants to reach you for private lessons, how can they reach you?
Oh, sure. So email is great. It's Keaton Kiewra at gmail.com. And my phone number is, we can put it as 402 617-6119. So yeah, anyone's welcome to text or email me. Oh, I actually was going to mention real quick. I'm going to be doing a group course with Derek Wu, where we actually teach each of us an hour a week for 5 weeks, so a 10-hour course. And so we'll be talking about that a little bit more on Derek's streams. But yeah, we're going to be doing that group course together.
Send us that info, and we'd be happy to plug it in the newsletter.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, thank you, and have a great rest of the weekend.
Okay, thank you guys so much. It's been lots of fun today. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you all for watching the Mechanics Chess Social. We'll put it on our YouTube channel very shortly, and have a great weekend, everyone.
And it's not too late to sign up for tomorrow's Rapid tournament. We have, I think it starts at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Came in 15, I think.
G10, 10 plus 2.
Sorry about that. And then not too late to join our Tuesday night marathon with 2 half-point buys. Next third and fourth round is next Tuesday, so you can also join.
Actually, maybe one of these days, Keaton, you can join us for like 15 minutes in the marathon. Do some commentary.
I would love to. I'd love to.
Oh,
that'd be great.
That would be awesome. We'll send you the info.
Okay, perfect.
All right, Keaton. Thank you. Bye,
okay,
everyone.
Thanks, guys.